I think I forgot to say in the video, I still have blepharitis, so that's why I'm wearing the sunglasses inside. My eye's still a little bit red. So, but soon it's gonna look better. I know. All right, on to this. On to this album. I love Mirrorball. What's up, people? I'm Shaggy the Opinionated Hippie, continuing my deep dive into Neil Young's studio catalog. Today, it's Mirrorball with Pearl Jam, 1995, officially his 23rd. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to rave about it. I'm going to rant about it. I'm going to heap completely biased and uncritical praise all over it because I love this album. And then I'm going to rank it among the other ones that I've already done. I'm also going to rank the songs at the end of the video. The first time I heard this album, I went to Europe in '95 to do the Eurail Pass youth hostel thing one last time before I was too old to stay in youth hostels particularly, and it would just become a little more expensive. And the night before I flew out, June 1995, I went to Sound Exchange here in San Antonio, bought a bunch of cassettes. One of them was Mirrorball. It had just come out that day, I believe. I think I left on a Saturday. I think I bought it that night. Did not listen to it until I had already landed in Amsterdam. I was already enjoying sort of the European lifestyle. Decided to take a walk, opened that cassette, put my headphones on, and walked around Amsterdam listening to Mirrorball for the first time in a Netherlands state of mind. And one of the best experiences of my life. This album immediately was S tier on my pantheon. It will be one of the greatest albums, one of my greatest experiences. I listened to it so often. I also remember a time sitting in the Berlin train station waiting for a train, and it was just pouring rain. And I was just sitting there watching the rain, listening to this album. So I have really special memories of this album. Pearl Jam and Neil Young. I really do think there's only 4 times on this album where it is the perfect balance of the two of them. I think there are 4 just perfect songs on here in which it's the right amount of Neil Young and the right amount of Pearl Jam, and the mesh is perfect. I think a lot of the other songs, it's almost like Pearl Jam is trying too hard to like be Crazy Horse, or like is in deference to Crazy Horse, and is keeping things at this like, I don't know, that it's not really a tempo as much as it's a vibe, just that steadier, a little bit more pounding Crazy Horse vibe as opposed to the more sort of what could be fleet-footed Pearl Jam hard rock. I love Pearl Jam, love Pearl Jam. And this gives an excuse to soon drop a ranking of their albums. I do think there's really only 4 songs where they nail it, but everything else I still enjoy, so there's no complaints. Vedder is not on here very much. He was dealing with personal issues at the time. He sings on one song, but for the most part, it's just the core of the band. And I think lyrically, one of the cool things about it is Neil is still being 100% Neil. We have some contemporary songs about pretty much politics in the 90s, essentially. We have songs, I'm pretty sure the penultimate song, Scenery, is Cobain inspired. And we just got your typical Neil wanderings about life and that kind of thing. And it's just, I don't know. I think it's a really good album, and I'm always surprised when I see it ranked lowly on people's lists. Opens up with 2 songs that are both kind of that they're trying to be that heavier Crazy Horse sound. But I think they're like really just these slow burning kind of garage grungy songs that over time just kind of seep into your soul. Song X and Act of Love, and they're both dealing with the topics of abortion. That was a pretty rough time in the 90s, like violent time here in the States when it came to that topic, when it came to that subject. And at least Neil is kind of just throwing these things up for discussion. The opening song, Song X, we have Romeo and Juliet, and the doctor and his case, and he held her hand, and then religion comes into it, and it's a kind of nice, tumultuous grunge energy to this, with some really nice screaming guitars. That's the opening song, X. And then Act of Love, another one that's just a little bit more harsher. Here's My Wallet, Call Me Sometime. But both of these have this kind of somber vibe that's surprising for this pairing of these two, just hard rock grunge, sort of just like almost icons already for Pearl Jam at this point, early in their career after, 10. And so the first two songs do feel like a little underwhelming, but I think just the more you listen to them, the more like that intensity just seeps into your soul and prepares you for the I'm the Ocean. One of the four songs that to me sounds like a perfect blend of the two. It's got this movement, it's got this motion, it's just got this propelling forward energy about it, this awesome opening riff, just guitars, just all three guitars just like streaming down the freeway or the ocean way. Fantastic lyrics about just kind of going through life, and people my age, they don't do the things I do is one of the lines. Then we get some like, it's this weird mix of like his own modern time sort of, we get then just acknowledgments of love, and then we have this sort of pre-civilization reference to like the chief and his braves, and like, you know, Neil's obsession with like actual Native Americans. And we get that perfect meld of all three of those topics in this song that just has such incredible momentum. That's followed by the second of the four songs, which I think are a perfect meld of these two bands. Big Green Country, which is just has this awesome drive-in sort of very Pearl Jam type riff. By far the most Pearl Jam song on the album so far. We get a reference to the Chief and his Braves, the Cancer Cowboy coming through, you know, and maybe acknowledging a little John Wayne jab right there. But it's just your typical Neil lyrics. Like, he sort of dispensed with like the political, more heavier stuff in the first two songs, and now he's just writing these like fantastic, like imagery laden diatribes about modernity and love and like where we used to be as people. And I don't know, two fascinating listens. Truth Be Known is next, a very slow burning, almost flirting with some like Bruce Springsteen-esque lyrics. There's references to a backstreet town and dreams fading away, talking to an old friend or running into an old friend. Just kind of this really slow burning, kind of intense song. And then we get by far one of the most fun songs on here, Downtown, which has this riff that seems like it's 7 or 8 other riffs. And every time I listen to it, whether they drop the riff in the opening or in the middle or in the end, or anytime he drops it, I'm just like, oh, sounds just like that. Oh, no, it's not. Wait, actually, it sounds like this other song. No, that's not that. Oh, like he's purposely almost like taken like 12 iconic riffs and like randomly chopped them up and respliced them together. And like, that's what we're playing, boys. There's something just really fun about it. He references Hendrix, Zeppelin, Page, super fun song. It's downtown. It's a place where the hippies go, man. Who doesn't want to go where the hippies go? It's a good time always. Really like it. Just a fun song. We get this really short thing called What Happened Yesterday, like 45 seconds long. It uses the melody to Big Green Country. It's this weird little, just short little snippet. And then we get the one song that he co-wrote with Vedder that Vedder sings on. It's called Peace and Love. They talk about Lennon's goodbye. You know, we're just kind of addressing the, you know, whatever happened to peace and love type thing. It's still here, right? Kind of a mid-tempo rock thing. Some nice intense guitar. Maybe goes on a little bit too long, this one. But it's like, 7 minutes long. But a decent track, a good track. But then it prepares you, because after this are probably the two best songs, maybe two of the three best songs. We get the third of the perfect melds, Throw Your Hatred Down. Another absolutely fantastic opening riff, a very Pearl Jam riff. McCready's licks in this thing are fantastic. The guitar player for Pearl Jam, or one of the two guitar players. Gossard's rhythm work is fantastic. Throw Your Weapons Down, this great sort of almost like Dancing Queen, dancing piano in the choruses or right after the choruses. It's got this light and bouncy era about the song, but at the same time, it's this intense driving energy. A great rocker. I want to say he just dropped like a live single of this from like a recent performance. So it's still sticking around decades later. Just a great song. And then what I think is easily the best song on this album, maybe not easily, this slow burning, ballady, super almost like in the realm of like a Cortez or a Danger Bird, or just one really taking its time, stretched out Neil exploration. Only this time, every once in a while in the background, you just hear McCready go like, wah, like wailing in from the distance and adding these incredible licks. But it's a song called Scenery. This is the one that I definitely think has to be somewhat inspired, or seems like a commentary on Cobain. It's just about modern culture and like the scenery as you stand at the graveyard. It's obsessed with like there's a death culture vibe to it, but it's also obsessed with just what it's like to be in the spotlight. What is the last line on here? I think the last line was something pretty intense. But the entire like song is just going towards this like it's really tense and it's building toward this release that kind of just never comes. The piano is like pushing it up towards this like climactic release. The guitar energy is, but we really don't ever get that release. And it's just a really intense, 8 minutes and 50 seconds. It's just like, slow burning, but the lyrics are great. The guitar playing, everything about it. Just a fantastic way to end this album. And then, well, almost end the album, because then it ends with another song called Fallen Angel, Neil on the pump organ. We got kind of new lyrics to the I'm the Ocean melody. They even mention the ocean on this. I think it's a line about, it's about being on stage at a concert, maybe another commentary on rock, another commentary on Cobain, Fallen Angel. So this is a very 95 album. Like, this is Neil in 1995. He's got the best hard rock band around in 95. He's being honored as sort of the godfather of grunge. So he's at sort of an apex in his career. He's just continued to drop these amazing albums all the way going back to 1989 after one of the most interesting decades of the 80s. And this is just him living in the moment in the best way possible, from like what he's reflecting politically, his sort of philosophical musings. He's still looking back in the past as he always did. I don't know. I think this is an absolutely amazing album, and it blows my mind every time I see it low on a list. I think it's fantastic. And even if you don't like the whole thing, 4 songs you need to check out. I'm the Ocean, Big Green Country, Throw Your Hatred Down, Scenery. Those 4, ridiculous. Where would I rank the songs? I have the songs ranked right there. Scenery at 1, Ocean, Hatred, Big Green. Those 4 perfect melds take the top 4. Then Downtown, because that's a blast. That's just a fun song. The 2 openers next at 6 and 7. Peace and Love. Then we got the slower songs and then just the shorter songs at the back. Just because we don't get as much for our money. They're shorter songs. So they go there. Question is, where would I rank this album after heaping all this praise? Well, here is the top 30 through 13. It is not in 30 through 13. It is higher than 13. Yeah, I would say from Reactor up, actually, Hitchhiker up. Those are all absolutely fantastic albums, 19 deep. And then we really don't get iffy until we get down to 24. But yeah, and Early Days is great. I think it's a good album. It's a ranking of my favorites. I just don't ever listen to it. But yeah, so anyways, that means the top 12 looks like this. I have it at number 11. After the Gold Rush is still in the top 10. I might be crazy about this album, but I'm not stupid. After the Gold Rush is a better album. I do think if maybe Peace and Love and Truth Be Known were maybe just stronger or were different songs, this might surpass After the Gold Rush and make the top 10. But I have to be honest that it's really those 4 songs, and they just like, the rising tide lifts all boats type thing. But it really is just those 4 songs that I love. And I actually love the other ones at this point, but I've learned to love them. So anyways, trying to be honest with myself. But I do think this is a fantastic album. This is not a bad listen. If anybody tells you this is a bad listen, then I feel bad for them, because this is a great listen. All right. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it all. Let me know your thoughts on this album. Let me know if you check it out. Subscribe, like, share, comment, do all those things. And peace. Talk to you later. Yeah.